everybody, and welcome to another one of our sessions where we learn Unreal Engine 4. We are still working with audio part, and we're going to continue where we left off on the audio classes. This is something I do feel that we definitely need to get the hang of. Just pretty much waiting on Jim to get his end ready. Although I might enter his day soon, since he apparently is doing some form of just chatting. But before we go there, before we continue with the audio classes segment of the Unreal Engine 4, of course I gotta sell out. Down in the description below, there is a link to the Power Shop, where you can purchase energy mixes, sleep mixes, hydration, shakers, and even stickers. And if you use creator code Blackheart, you will get a 10% discount. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's see, let me get the desktop audio on. Let me switch over to where we left off. I have the classes open just in case, so I can show you guys what it actually looks like, since we have noticed some difference between the website and the engine itself. Hopefully there aren't actually any at all this time, or if there is, maybe some small easy to notice ones, but things should be a-okay. Now let's see, I don't have any Discord messages. He does have the Unreal title on his side, so I guess we'll just wait for Jim to wrap up on his just chatting segment, unless he's already gone through the switch, of which doesn't look like he has. Like he's been doing all the pega, just commenting on it. Oh well. Later today, I'll be doing a game stream, fortunately, for those that are watching me live. For those that are watching the VOD, I'm mainly a game streamer, and this is just something I'm doing on the side with a friend, so we can eventually start our own game project, and we're learning how to use the Unreal Engine. I think Jim wanted to talk about something else. I don't remember. I lurked on his stream yesterday for as long as I could. Then I had to go to sleep because I was tired. I didn't watch all the way towards the end. So let's see. Let me go over into his Discord and have that ready. I'll also keep an eye if he sends me a message of any kind. Hopefully he doesn't have to deal with what happened the last time we streamed together. On Monday, a community from someone else, a so-called Burger Planet, did a little bit of a hate raid over on YouTube on him. Hopefully he doesn't have to deal with that. He didn't have to worry about it yesterday, fortunately, but so he doesn't have to deal with it today either. Was people like doing that sort of things, filing TOAs through the chat. Like, how sad is their existence that they have to do hate raids like that for no reason? Now let's see. I'm not getting anything on the chat. I'm not getting any messages from him. So I guess I'll just wait on him to wrap up on his section. I'm not gonna put the audio up mainly because that is his own thing from his own channel. I do not want to interrupt them or anything, and I don't want to rush him either. Anyways, last time we also talked about MIDI, but we ended up having to skip MIDI because we didn't understand it. We also looked at the ambisonic audio stuff, of which we only partially understood it. But when I saw how ambisonic audio works, we just might need to experiment with ourselves at some point, because the application stuff we didn't properly understand. Let's see, what else did we look at before some classes? Nope, that was it. Then we just looked at the general overview of what each part of the details section is, and try to make heads or tails of what always plays actually meant, which I'm pretty sure I got it right. Since you can put multiple sound into that class supposedly, and from what I understood from just simply looking at it and putting something in myself, that maybe they can interrupt each other in some way, shape, or form, and always play would make sure that none of the child classes interfere with the parent class, or vice versa. I'm not entirely sure there, but we will be looking to child classes further right now once Jim is ready. Of course, I'm not gonna start it on my own. This is something we are doing together. Like I said, to do something together. Let's see, what else? No, I guess all I can think of is, just wait up on him. And again, I'm not gonna rush him. I'm not gonna tell he says to rush him or anything. He was on his Pega stuff, which has nothing to do with Unreal, and I know that getting that certification for him is important as well. So I'm not gonna interfere with that. Just let him finish up with whatever it is he's talking about. Right now, I have him muted on a desktop, and we'll see. Well, he does do another starting soon for when he's about to switch to the Unreal stuff, and he does have roughly 2 minutes to show his links, of which links to all my stuff down in the description. Over to my V stream if you're watching from the YouTube side. There's links to my Discord, to my Throne wish list. And I do look at my Discord every once in a while. I do. If anyone writes there, I will answer there. Right now, all I can do now is just wait. We also haven't decided on what we're gonna make together. We're supposedly gonna start off by making a clone, sort of as to practice a bit and get and see if we kind of understood the things correctly. And also, he's more of a 2D developer over 3D. I'm a bit of both, pretty much. I like both 2D and 3D. Maybe more on the 2.5D on the 2D side. I do love those 2.5D stuff. Having anything happen, like giving some more depth to the background and stuff like that. It's always been quite interesting. Like Klonoa being amongst my favorite 2.5D platformer games. Apparently it's a pretty darn good game. If anyone hasn't played it, I highly recommend that game. It's pretty darn good. It is old, I will say that. It's an old school game, but it is a good game. I do need to get myself see if there is a PC. I think there is a PC version. I don't have it anymore. Well, no, I don't have the PC version. I played the original PlayStation version. But oh well. We still need to decide on what our original price is gonna be, as well. Like, what genres are gonna be. What if we're gonna try and restart his old project from Unity, or are we gonna start something new? I don't know. Like, I like a lot of games, so I don't like just stick to a single genre, and it'll be the same for game development. Probably the only genre I probably won't bother both playing and developing would be text adventures or definitely not visual novels. No way. Plus, why would I use this engine for that? What was this genre called again? I can't even remember the game I had played. I didn't even like that was a different genre because I definitely like my platformers. I like RPGs. I love RPGs actually, particularly JRPGs. Neutral to racing games. Horror games I'm trying to get into, but not really that good. I'm just waiting on Jim right now for to finish. He must have forgotten or lost track of time. He said a few times he might be late or something, but like I said, he's not sending me any notification or any messages. Hold up, what is that? I don't know. I thought I saw something on my chat, but no, it was just a visual bug. Never mind. If he wants to discuss anything, of course, he can always send me a message. And I'll enter his stage. Let's see. We also don't know how long our official game is gonna be. Audio and art is gonna be our hardest point, which is why we're taking the time to learn how audio works on Unreal. Trying to understand things as best as we can. If there are things we didn't understand properly, all comments are welcome. Describing things or where we could probably find some better information for people like us that aren't actually good at this. And it will be whether here on my VOD or stream. If you're live here, you can always let me know through the chat, or we're on Jim's side as well. He will eventually notify me of this stuff. Now let's see. I'll probably be trying to lean more on programming artistic side of things. I'm not an artist, but I definitely want to learn how to use Blender. I have been thinking about adding Blender into my streams, but I get rid of my day off. But I might actually do a short stream, so to try and get some rest. Because I did have my day off on Tuesdays. I think it's Tuesdays or Thursdays. I always make Tuesdays and Thursdays mixed up since English is not my native language. So technically yesterday. Yesterday was my day off, and it's the same day for every week. And I've been thinking about doing like Blender like once a week for roughly 2 hours on those days. And nothing else. But I haven't decided yet. Because, like I said, I am no artist either. But I do need to learn that stuff if I want to contribute more into the project, especially. And maybe, who knows, I might actually be able to make my own, like, 3D model. I'll probably start with low poly for the sake of my computer. I don't have a very powerful computer, so the number of polygons I can have while playing the game is limited. I mean, if anyone knows anything about that, any, like, 3D Vtuber or anyone that makes models for those 3D avatars for Vtubers understands a bit about the hardware side of things, do let me know through Discord. Like DM me or something on Discord, and of course we do need to have a common server, otherwise Discord's not going to allow it. And don't just send me a friend request, just talk to me first. I'm not gonna accept any friend requests from anyone that hasn't contacted me. Hey, thank you for letting me to shower there. Safi score. Thank you. Goody shower, goody shower, goody shower. Welcome everyone. Right now I'm just waiting on a friend to close down his side so we can get started with the Unreal stuff for about an hour. I normally do a 1 hour stream from how long has I started already now? 16 minutes ago. Then I stop, go eat something, and I come back for a game normally. Right now, I don't know. I can see my friends talking about something on his side. I'm not gonna rush him. Right now, I was mostly just talking of some of the plans I have been thinking about the channel. Like, I've been thinking of doing Blender on, like, getting rid of my day off or modifying it to do Blender on stream. Well, learning it because I am no artist. I cannot draw anything, but I do need to learn. If my friend and I are going to start a game project at some point together, we will. If I can learn Blender, that might actually help a lot. I was thinking for a follow their Joker Faces. Oh, awesome name, Joker Faces. That's actually like that. Anyways, let's see. On where we left off for the Unreal Engine stuff, we were looking at the sound classes because neither of us know a thing about sound, and we don't have anyone to help us with the sound engineering for when we start our own project. So we're doing what we can to learn this stuff. I think I'm gonna message him to maybe just in case he like forgot or something. Also, I'm on Unreal Engine and Blender, going with custom assets or Unreal Marketplace freebies. We'll probably start with the Unreal Marketplace freebies first because I still need to learn how to use Blender. Once I get the hang of Blender, then I'll start making custom stuff for whatever project we start. We are gonna start making a clone to practice with the Unreal Engine and get the hang of it, and then we'll move on to making our own actual game project. I need to learn the sound part of I had a single lecture on something, but I don't remember it at all. Don't worry, that my friend Jim and I don't know anything about sound either, so we're taking it slow and figuring things out. Right now I'm just gonna message him to know if he's ready. Oops, I forgot to put a space there. But yeah, I have been considering like doing at least a 2 hour stream on Thursdays. Like I said, English is not my native language. I always make Thursdays and Tuesdays together. Pretty much yesterday. Since those normally are my days off. And hopefully if I learn well enough, I might consider making my own avatar, but we'll see about that. It'll probably take me some time. Let's see. As for sound classes, like the only thing we've managed to make so far is what I have open right now, which was an ambient sound class. We did mess with it quite a bit already to see how it works with the different sound volumes. Since each sound volume has its own like shape and all. You can find free Blender add-ons for architecture, nature, and few simple objects. Yeah, I have been picking up some of the freebies from the Epic store, of which I need to check whether are free this month. I did not check this month's freebies. Hang on, Jesus. he was wondering if we wanted to talk about a certain problem I'm like going through. It's mainly regarding Argentina's current politics, of something that's really worrying about me about my future. Primarily because of my lack of job, but I really don't want to talk about that on stream. I don't want any like politics or anything like that on my stream. Blender is huge right now and might be a bit easier to use now as well. Good luck. It does take a while depending on if going for us versus characters. Objects versus characters. Yeah, I can imagine. And I am no artist. So that's why it might take me some time to get the hang of it. But it is something I want to learn. I want to get that ability. And who knows? Even if I don't end up using it for any of my projects, if I can get the hang of it, I might start doing commissions with Blender. I don't know. Whether it be making assets or characters or something along those lines. But first, I gotta learn how to use it. And that's why I have been considering that. I also been considering to streaming to a third platform. Right now, I'm multi-stream to both YouTube and VStream at the same time. And I have been considering adding another one. Kind of related to my current situation right now. Let's see. Let him know. I think when it comes to Unreal and Blender and Live 2D and all this, it's better to think of it as learning the program itself rather than learning how to do anything. Knowing artsy things helps, sure, but programming knowledge is key. I do know a bit of programming. I mean, I have worked with C Sharp, Java, JavaScript. Right now, I have to learn C++ for Unreal since that's the main language it works with. But since I kind of already know C Sharp, it might not be too hard for me to get into C++. I already did see a few similarities when we had to do a little script for the one of the programming quick start that I did a while back. There's just a few things I might need to learn from C++ itself. But I do know a bit of programming already. I even know like a tiny bit of Kotlin. What was it called again? CSS and TypeScript even. Just a tiny bit, but I'm no stranger to programming, fortunately. Okay, give me a second. I'm going to reply a Discord message right now to my friend. he really wants to discuss that little situation I was talking about, since I did post it on my Discord to try and get like anyone in my Discord to give off their opinions. As with Planberry, you not really need to learn the whole programming, just basics. Well, the basics I definitely got them covered. I did at one point actually go to public university of learning computer engineering, but I had to drop it because I actually had gotten a job which was more important at that time. Now, near the end of COVID, when I tested positive for COVID, I was let go because I actually wanted to respect the quarantine and not get my coworkers sick who didn't have a single vaccine. Making an object, it tends to be a basic operation, but if more complex, there are tutorials that add to it. However, if you're doing characters, then wave paint, UV mapping, it is a lot. Animation is fun though. I have seen a few people like doing that sort of stuff, and it did seem quite interesting to me. And yeah, I can't imagine a character being a lot harder than a simple object, specifically a static object. The objects will only get complex when we're talking about like destructible objects, like breaking a box, or a destructible building, or something comparable to Red Faction Gorilla, where everything was destructible. Then yeah, that's when the objects get messy. Okay, he's ready for the Unreal. Let me just hop on in and get on with the whole Unreal stuff.
But again, we'll discuss those off stream. So now, if you guys have any suggestions yourself, he's looking for some comments on his Discord. So go and share. If you have anything, something that he could kind of use or discuss about, then
damage objects,
check it out over on his Discord and talk with him about it over there. But yeah,
I'll definitely be looking those.
Okay, so I see that he's in my chat. Hold on a second. I'm gonna switch this over to the Unreal Engine scene collection, and we'll get on to the topic.
And so I'll probably look for more like written stuff over showing YouTube stuff on I do those streams, since I know there's a whole controversy a bit with showing that stuff on the stream, like, oh, you're showing my content on your stream, now nobody's coming over to look at mine. So on stream I look at more the written stuff, while off stream I look at the YouTube videos to try and inform myself a little bit more. And now I'm hopping over to my friends.
Oop, there we are. Okay.
Hey there, Jim.
Hey there, bud. Okay, so let me go ahead and bring up the Unreal topics that we were on.
Yeah, I was just talking to someone over on VStream, since I took the time to talk about plan about Blender that I have been thinking. Something to do on my channel myself.
Okay. Would you mind discussing that a little bit over here?
If you don't mind, since it doesn't really have to do with Unreal. I've been thinking about my days off mainly.
Okay. Yeah, I don't mind, because I'd like to kind of know what your plans are as well, and obviously it won't necessarily, from you're probably going to be kind of angling it to be something that is like outside of what we're currently doing, so technically it wouldn't necessarily affect me, but at the same time it's something that I could potentially I wouldn't mind having knowledge of myself, so, and as well as my audience. So
I was thinking that on my days off, since I haven't been streaming anything during those days, uh, during what would normally be my gaming schedule, I would do at least a roughly 2 hours of me going through some Blender tutorials and practicing trying to make something and trying to figure out how to use Blender, and eventually, who knows, maybe I can learn how to make maybe some assets myself, maybe learn how to make my own avatar eventually. And who knows, if I get the hang of it, maybe start commissioning stuff to start making some money out of that.
I mean, that's one way. Unfortunately, you're gonna have a little bit of difficulty trying to make a name for yourself and along
I
those
know,
lines.
first I
Unless
need to learn how to use Blender first.
no, we're doing right.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking
Um,
about streaming that stuff, me learning how to use it.
mm-hmm.
Probably starting with static objects and looking into Joker of Ace told me about the free add-ons there are for making destructible objects. And then move on to the more complex stuff, which is the avatars and animations.
Okay. Well, I mean, obviously there's like multiple tutorials and so on and so forth. Like, for example, uh, one of the things that I kind of saved on in my list of videos was, um, someone trying to learn. Someone did like a 14-minute video on how they learned live 2D, and they said in 7 days. So, um, but I don't know. You
Yeah,
said that you've
I
tried to
can
use that
imagine
before,
someone
and
that is good with art being able to make Live 2D a little bit easier since they technically already know how to draw pretty well. I can't draw for shit pretty much. I am no artist. So I know it's gonna take me a while to properly learn Blender and make something that looks good.
well, okay. Well, you have to understand that, when it comes to making avatars, um, you don't. I mean, let's face it. Some of the VTubers that are out there nowadays, some of them have very scuffed avatars themselves. Okay.
Yeah,
And that's okay. You know, what's if you can make your avatar, something that can be very like emotional, or very uh, uh, it picks up, you can pick up your face, through the webcam, and it will be, expressive. That's the word I was looking for.
mm,
If you have an avatar that's very expressive, it doesn't matter how bad it might look. If you have like a really expressive avatar, then it might really work really well for you if you wanted to go along those lines, right?
yeah. Sometimes the
Um,
scuff gives it a little charm to it. I have noticed those. And as
yeah.
for what you said, there are Safi scores. Yeah, I know rigging is not really the same as the drawing. I just don't know how to rig to begin with either.
Yeah. Well, that's what that's why I was like looking at the live 2D. I'm like going, oh, okay. I
Yeah, plus rigging
li-
2D and rigging 3D isn't really the same. Their methods are completely different.
right. Well, I'm not saying rig 2D, rig 3D, because let's face it, that's once you start getting into rigging of 3D, you're gonna be that's a lot of work. Okay,
I
and
know.
you know, so anything 3D is obviously gonna be a lot of work, because you're talking about like making sure that everything works perfectly fine at all angles. we're obviously don't do that to start.
No, that's why I'm leaving it for later.
You know,
First, I
yeah.
gotta learn how to make something before I can even think about rigging it.
Right. Just that's why I say, just stick with the live 2D to kind of start off with, because obviously you don't want to go to don't even don't even have live 3D in your wheelhouse right at this moment in time. If you haven't
No,
learned live 2D yet, live 3D is like 10 steps ahead. Don't bother with that.
I know, I know.
um, but
Plus, I do question my computer capabilities, but I'm hoping by the time I get to that point, which I know it's gonna be a long time, I hope to have something better.
Well, okay. Here's a question. Do you have Live 2D saved on your computer now or no?
Let's
You said
see.
that you worked with it once before. Do you still have it or no?
I don't remember. I have been making space, removing things I haven't been using, and my avatar I made it on a Chinese website. I think I worked on
Okay.
something similar, but like I said, I could not draw anything satisfactory.
Well, okay. Here's
I do
did
have
you ever
an alternative
did you ever
to Photoshop, fortunately.
okay, did you ever see my GGG streams at all or no? Did
I
you ever
haven't had time. I'm either taking
that's
care of the baby or trying to look for a job.
it's quite alright. I completely understand on that. But
Mm.
um here, I'm gonna bring
I know that art and rigging are two different costs. I just don't have an avatar, a 2D avatar to rig to begin with. I need something to rig before I can even start rigging something.
well, no, the thing is that what
As for a free
first,
model, I'm answering someone on my chat. As for a free model, like, uh, I haven't really found something that I feel like suits me. Not even close to what I just made. Actually, I want to kind of try and stick with the design I made that I'm using right now. Um, that's why if I try to rig something to use on stream, I would rather be something at least is close to what I have now. No 3DS for VR chat.
well, I mean, what you could do, okay, is just basically start like at start with the basics, okay. Um, like okay, let me kind of
Yeah, my problem with
go.
buying those assets that could probably work with me is that each dollar right now, as of today, is 905 times. So that $150 you put in that, multiply that by 905, and you will know how much that's actually gonna cost. I don't have that kind of money.
Okay, so um, yeah,
Maybe we can keep on talking about this later since the time is going and we haven't even talked not one bit about what we were supposed to be talking on the Unreal.
I mean, it's
This is something I'm still like thinking about. If I find something to maybe learn about more about the 2D stuff and try and make something 2D, if I can find somewhere I can
well,
find some
here's
assets I
here's
can work with, that won't get me with copyright or anything, because there is art that is copyrighted that could get me in
well,
trouble,
okay.
which I do
Well,
need to be careful with that.
here's the thing. Just I know that what you have right now, your avatar that you have right now. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what you're like. You like using. Obviously, that's understandable. Okay. But here's the thing. Okay, um, if you want to make your own like rigging and whatnot, um, or if you want to try to build something yourself, then you're eventually gonna have to get away from that particular avatar.
I
Okay,
know, I know.
because you know, because it's owned by someone else, right? Um, so what you
That
can do,
template is. That template that was available for public use. All I did was take things that were available for public use, for use on whatever you wanted, to put them together to make this.
okay, but you know, what did you kind of combine to make that though?
Well, I had to pick out the hair, the horns, the markings under the eye, the suit.
Okay, so each one of those were different assets that you basically got, and you combined them together using Photoshop to build it,
The
to
platform
build that
had the
design.
means to bring in those and put them together and save it as a PNG.
Okay.
I lost a link now. I don't know where it is, but since I made this a long time ago.
Right, right, right.
But in the platform
Okay,
itself, you could grab different assets and on the platform itself, put it together and save it as a PNG. And I did like 4 different frames for when it's blinking and when its mouse is moving,
right,
and different expressions.
right. You know, okay. Um, okay. Let me. Fortunately, I don't really have. Um, Let me see
As for
if I can
Photoshop that
kind
you
of.
mentioned, I don't have Photoshop, but my brother told me of a free alternative like Photoshop. Just let me. I think I marked it somewhere. The name of it.
Well, I mean, there's multiple different versions that are similar to Photoshop, but obviously not Photoshop. Photoshop would obviously take, cost a lot of money, but obviously, there
Yeah,
are other tools out there that are similar to it that you can
there's.
use.
I found it.
So,
I hope I can pronounce it. It's called Krita. Krita. It's spelled Krita, and that one's like Photoshop, but it's free.
okay. Well, I mean, that's one. That's one of many. So,
And that's
um,
the one my brother recommended him since he has experience with the Photoshop,
right,
so he knows things that are that will work decently well.
right.
Let me put my background
Um,
screen.
but I mean, the one of the things uh, about this here, let me go live here real quick, and I want to show um let's see, there we go. I'm showing one of my old
Let me
streams,
switch.
uh on here. So um during my uh when I was working on for GGG and Unity, I didn't really have any art either, and I didn't really want to use any art that was like supplied by other artists kind of thing, because I didn't really want to have, I knew, like, I was seeing different people's art of, like, hey, here's an art of a goblin, or hey, this is an art of a ghost, or this is a person, and stuff like that. And I'm like, going, well, this isn't something that matches my idea of it. And while um the problem was that I didn't really have like the tools to really take their art and mess with it, myself at the time, right? So I just basically brought out like paint and just used like the tools for like creating circles, creating squares, creating ovals and stuff like that, and just put, just kind of created um, sections. Obviously, as you could see from the image itself, it's not great. It's not anything that you might say would be like fantastic art or anything along those lines. Like, you look at that art right there, compare it with your avatar, and clearly it's not the same, right? But here's the thing. I 100% own that, because it's my own kind of creation along those lines. And, you know, um, I think the art's still in my hard drive and stuff like that. But I mean, I can kind of take that, or in my old hard drive, I can take that, and I could kind of put that into the live 2D and start messing with you know other things along those lines. Like moving the eyebrows. Uh, Creating different expressions and so on and so forth. It doesn't require a lot, you know. Um, so you don't need to be like, you know, I get it, that your avatar that you have right now is obviously something that, looks really nice, okay?
Yeah, to
But,
an extent,
you
but
know,
yeah. I When I look at it closely, you can tell where like some of things don't match the same art style.
right, but here's the thing. Um, until you can get someone to like draw the art for you, which obviously would require quite a bit of money to even consider doing that right
Yeah,
at this point in
which
time.
is my
You
big
have
issue right now.
you're gonna have to build the art yourself,
Exactly.
okay? And it will be scuffed,
I know.
you know. And so um so start simple. Don't you know? I know your current avatar might be nice and stuff like that, but um consider this. Um, do like an art stream. Okay, basically say noob artist making a new avatar. Okay, just start out with that. Okay, and you're probably gonna get a few artists coming in and saying, hey, here's the technique that you could try. That might help you if you want to have like more expressive eyes or something along those lines. Okay, and then you just kind of make like the different parts of the face. You can make the different your different mouths, your different eyes, your different eyebrows, your different hair. um and obviously it doesn't need to be perfect or wavy the way you have it right now, but
Wavy. This
um
yeah, hair doesn't even have animations. Just
what I mean by wavy is, I mean, they have curves to it.
no,
Okay, you know
not so fluffy.
mm, you're right. uh you know uh like like what I did with my image there was I had like little like curls for the hair, and that was it. um Now again, uh mine would definitely not pass as you know uh if someone was to come to me and say, hey Jim, I want to I want one of your avatars or something like that, I'd be like, are you sure? I'd be like, are you sure about that? Because obviously I'm not an artist. I don't pretend to be an artist. But here's the thing. There are plenty of tutorials that will show you how to kind of, this the small steps that it might take to generate something. Okay, like how when you want to like an oval face, for example, right? When you have your oval face, okay, the placement of the eyes, how they put like a they kind of split the oval down the center, vertically and then horizontally, and that horizontal line is where they put the eyes at. If you're looking like straight forward. Obviously, if you're kind of wanting to have like a side profile that you have, then obviously it might have like a little bit of an angle of a line, right? To kind of show like one might be closer to the camera than the other, right?
Mm.
Um, but still, there's various techniques that artists like to do to um, to kind of generate that, to generate the face, and you just start off with that, you know. Take those eyes, go to Live 2D, and rig those eyes. Then you generate the eyebrows. Obviously, it'll probably take a little bit of work to kind of generate the eyebrows, the way that you want them to be. And then you go in and see if you want to rig those a little bit. Maybe you want to kind of change those into like flames or something like that, or whatever, right? Um,
Yeah, the flames weren't really supposed to be there. It just came with the base template, and I really couldn't get rid of them.
it's okay, but I mean, it's one. I mean, it's unique though. That's my point. Is that you know you're trying to go for a dragon style and or a dragon motif, so fits your name obviously.
Yeah.
Um, but obviously flames are typically associated with dragons,
Mm,
so
up to an extent, yes.
uh, depending on like you know depending on which dragons you tend to go with, right? Um but still, the you know obviously use your imagination to do whatever you want, but it doesn't require you to, like, you used a website that would bring everything kind of together for you.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's all well and good, but it doesn't give you a lot of room for creativity. It doesn't allow for you to have room for um, to do rigging, because you don't have access to that art really to change it. And even then, the you might have problems with like the original artist. Like they might say like,
Yeah.
hey,
And
you can take this, you know, you might take this art, but you can't change it.
yeah,
You
the
know,
other issue when it comes to Live 2D is that for 2D, I will need to save it in a file that isn't PNG, but a format that allows to maintain the different layers for the rigging to work. Because I did look into 2D rigging a bit, and the
mm,
file needs to be of a format that allows for the software to access the different layers.
okay. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean that makes sense if you're you know um, if you're changing the different layers and stuff like that, then yeah, obviously.
Not more like
Um,
changing them to so that they react according to my movement. You know
right,
how when you see some 2D VTubers, they move, their hair moves, maybe their clothes move. That's
right,
because that layer is made to react accordingly. That specific
right,
layer.
right. And obviously you'll you know if you want to do it that way, then that's you know um, but I mean it's gonna take no one's gonna be trying to do that kind of work is obviously long, painstaking,
Yeah. First, I need to
grueling, and
use how
stuff like that.
to learn how to use the software I choose to use first, because I never really used Photoshop, so I don't know how their tools work. So we need to first go through that first. So learning how to use this Photoshop-like tool.
True. But I'd be careful with that though.
Mm,
Okay, because once again, if um you take art from another website, then you are risking yourself, from getting hit with a copyright claim
I know when it comes to the free
from
stuff, yeah, I need to see that they made it for the purpose of using it, like for this sort of things,
I
or that they don't mind how it's used when it comes to the free
I
stuff.
would I would talk with the artist directly. Okay,
If I can,
because hmm
if I can.
if you can. Well, I mean, well, here's the thing. It doesn't matter if you can or not, unless they're dead, obviously you can't talk
Like
with
someone
anybody
put
that's
stuff
that's
up
dead.
that they don't
Okay.
tend to communicate with other people.
Well, here's the problem. Okay, is that some of these websites they might say that they are giving this out for free, but they never got the permission from the artists themselves. Okay, they might have ripped the art themselves and posted it on their website and said, "Hey, this is
I know, I
free."
know. I had translated much of the text from that was available because they had a part where you can see the licensing part where the one who uploaded it could put that what it could be used for. You know, the translation
Yeah,
wasn't perfect, but it was better than nothing for me to know whether or not I can use it.
I forgot to turn on
And like I
my
said, I made this years ago.
I forgot to turn on my headset audio for everybody to actually hear you. um, uh, but no, the point that I'm having with, I've had problems with websites that claim um, that they are copyright free. You can do these kind of things. And you're perfectly fine. You won't get any kind of copyright claims, and well, you know like I tried to go to a radio station that was supposedly, you know copyright free. There's no copyright on any of the music that's being played, blah blah blah. I played that radio station on my live stream, and I got hit with like 7 different copyright claims for all the different songs that played during that radio station. And I I couldn't trust anything after that. If this one company says, "Hey, this is all copyright free," you won't get hit with copyright claims, and I got hit with 7, and some of them were from like companies that actually represented that artist. Now I'm like on okay, yeah, this
Yeah,
website's lying. So I can't necessarily you know um uh, I can't. I have to be careful with that now because if I'm getting hit with copyright claims on music, then it's like anything can change when it comes to copyright. Same with art. Okay, if you're taking art from some website that says, oh yeah, it's perfectly fine, and like the real artist finds out about it, and they see like maybe you're using it, then they could potentially claim your video because you're using art of theirs, for example, right?
I know.
Um, and then on one hand, it's like, sure, it could be like really easy. You can grab assets from like other websites to kind
I
of
know,
put
but like I
together
said,
again
I went through the
one.
licensing just to be just for safety. 'Cause I don't want to deal with copyright. I know that stuff very well, so I always look at if they have a licensing section where the person can actually puts their disclaimers and stuff like that. I will look for it. If I don't see anything of the licensing, I don't touch it.
Yeah.
Which this
Um,
site fortunately had the licensing accessible.
well, I personally, I would try to, if you're trying to look for already made art assets, then I would
Yeah,
try
that's
to,
why I kind of want to learn how to make something myself,
yeah.
primarily. So I don't. If I
Well,
make something myself, like no one can really copyright me because I made it.
right. If you do something like what I did, which is just like do it like a paint simple stuffed avatar, you know, then no one can claim it. Okay,
Yeah, and I
because
say that
you
looks
know,
better than what I can make. Believe me, I am bad.
y- and that's perfectly fine. Okay, go ahead and make something like this because no one is going to be able to come up. You know, for one thing, make it during the stream. Make it during the stream so that you are literally giving evidence that this is your own art that you're working on. Now you can basically bring up like another website of like something that you're like on. Ooh, this image looks really cool. I want to maybe kind of do something similar with it. That's perfectly fine. But as long as you're putting in the work to try to mimic it, then that should be okay. Now tracing obviously doesn't. Tracing is doesn't hold up. You can't trace something and say that it's your art.
I
That
know.
doesn't work. Um, but if you are willing to kind of like put some changes into the art or something like that, um, then that makes it transformative enough for you to basically say, no, no, this is something that I changed on it, and this is how it looks now. Um, but I mean, with you streaming it, then you know, uh, no one can say otherwise. You can basically say, no, this is my own art. I put the time to create it. You can see that I put the time to create it. Um, but obviously, if you do something scuffed like what I'm showing right now, then who in their right mind would want to claim that particular art, right? you, you know, but here's the point. Um, doing something simple like this can be your very first like live 2D art piece, and then you just kind of build upon it. Okay, if it's very expressive, if it's something that people are really kind of enjoying seeing your expressions change, you know, uh, you have your hair flowing around, sort of. Um, you know, um, you have the eye tracking, the mouth tracking, and so on and so forth working well, then that stepped avatar might be something that people might appreciate, especially in the VTubing community. And it doesn't need to be super fancy. Um, I mean, just look at some of the art assets that like some of the more popular VTubers, like Melody, um, Iron Mouse, Zen. I mean, they bring up some scuffed avatars from time to time themselves,
Yeah, and they do it
and
mainly for fun.
yeah. But I mean, the audience is like, "Yeah, this is fine. This is funny," you know. Um,
I can imagine
you know,
Galaxy
I
Girl having a blast with a Go Goblin mode.
well, I mean, you can do that. You can set up like you can set up like a channel points reward or something like that. Basically saying change the avatar
Once
to
VStream
goblin
adds
mode
that
or something
stuff,
like that.
yeah, once VStream adds that stuff, I'll consider it. As far as I know, YouTube doesn't have channel points.
It doesn't, to my knowledge.
No, and I
um
know VStream plans to add channel points. They just haven't done that yet. They just
yeah,
recently released uploading videos and commenting.
yeah. um but I mean, I'm thinking back on Twitch there,
Yeah.
for affiliate kind of thing. um you said that you're close on that, if you really wanted to, and the
If
fact
I
that
were
they
to go
did.
back to Twitch, yeah, I do have the number of followers. I just could never hit the average viewer.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, if you reach out to your audience now and say, hey, can you watch me on Twitch as well to kind of strengthen your numbers, you could try to do that as well. Okay. Obviously, getting the average of 3 viewers for the entire month is rough.
I know.
Believe me.
I know. I
Believe
have
me.
been there for 2 years, and
Yep.
the best I got was two,
Yep.
and that was only on
Uh,
2 streams.
yep. Oh, I know. I know. Um,
Yeah.
it took me a long time myself. The only time that actually pushed me over was when someone actually raided me with a, it was like close to like 200 people all at once. That actually pushed me over the
The average.
average. So, um, and what's hilarious was the fact that I was in a team per se that was basically saying, "Hey, you know, we we pay it forward." It's like, are you?
Yeah.
Um, but um, but no, I mean, um, what I would do, my friend, uh, set yourself up with an art stream. Just do like an hour art stream, right? And then basically say, hey, I'm going to take this art, put it into live 2D, and see what I can do with it, right? And you're gonna if you put in the tags for like artists and stuff like that, and say that, hey, you're just a scuffed artist, you don't have the art capabilities and stuff like that, then um, you're gonna show that you are wanting to try to put in the work yourself, and you know artists are going to appreciate that. Okay. Obviously, some artists would prefer that you paid them for the art, but all you have to
I know.
basically say is like, hey, I have
I
no money.
can't. I
you
can't.
know
I've gotten several offers for commissioning a new model.
yeah.
But it's always the same issue. I
Yeah.
can't
Well,
pay for it.
I know. I know. It was kind of the same for me. Like uh I even like I have this one website that I don't do anything with, and I really should try to finish it, but I haven't taken time to build it up to what I'd like to see.
Hmm.
Um, but I kept on getting people like emailing me going, "Hey, I can build your website. Hey, I can build your website. You just pay us, this much amount of money, and we'll build it for you." I'm like, going, I don't have any money, guys. you know, I can't pay you for any work on this because I don't have any kind of income. I don't have any kind of, money to pay anyone for it. It would have to be like after the fact. It would have to be like, once money starts coming in, then sure, I can pay you. But you know, that's after. Um, um, same with now. I get people like emailing me for this channel, for this stream, saying, "Hey, I can do a layout for you. Hey, I can, change, give you a new logo, blah blah blah, and stuff like that. You're just gonna have to pay me. Same as you, right?" And it's like, I don't have any money, guys. You know, I can't pay you. And obviously, you're in the same boat.
Yeah. Yeah, I got
Um,
people offering for an avatar, a banner, a new logo, even
yeah,
layouts.
and there's nothing that you can.
No.
You're kind of in the same boat that I am in, and that we have to kind of use whatever free assets that we can get a hold of, or we do the work ourselves.
Yeah.
Um,
Fortunately,
and
I
in
have
my
found templates to work with, but that's the best I can
yeah,
do.
right. Um, but in terms of your avatar, I would say, go ahead and start trying to make, take, take an hour of gaming time out, or so. Obviously, you can't start earlier
I know. That's why I
than
was
now,
thinking
especially.
about getting rid of my day off and doing something. Will be an art stream, as you're suggesting, or Blender, or whatever, on my days off, and try and do it then. Especially now that summer's coming, I'm gonna have. I don't really turn on my computer during the day.
Yeah, yeah. I understand that on that one. Um, on one hand, I'd say, go ahead and keep your days off because, it kind of helps you, uh, relax a little bit. But at the same time, um, you can try to do something fairly relaxing as well, um, with those kind of art streams. Hmm, uh,
Yeah, I don't mind like getting rid of my day off. Honestly, like even though my days off, I don't get that much rest because of the baby. Either way, end up tired, so I might as well do something. Like
true.
today, like an hour before I started the stream, I was taking care of the baby today.
Yeah, yeah,
I had to feed him. I had to stay with him. I had to try and make him fall asleep. Which I don't
yeah,
know what I don't know what's up with this baby. Like he knows he's sleepy. He has to sleep, and he gets mad because he's sleepy.
yeah.
He gets really mad when he starts to fall asleep.
Hmm. Um, well, I mean, for me, it'd probably be along the lines of maybe it's like sunlight, you know, maybe it's, I mean, it could be sunlight that's kind of, like he has his eyes open and he's like, I'm, I'm seeing all this light. I can't sleep, but I'm upset, but I want to sleep. It could be something along those lines, maybe.
No, light
Um,
sound it doesn't bother him. It's just the fact
yeah.
he just wants to be awake. He just want to be
I,
awake. That's all he
I
wants.
mean, that's could be a thing too. Um, it could be also heat. Heat could be, making the baby uncomfortable. So the baby's like going, I don't like this heat. I can't sleep. Ah. Um, but um, but the thing is that I fear if you could probably do um, you know do like a scuffed art stream or something like that, or like I said, take like an hour a day and just kind of continue working on little art pieces or something like that. Just like go, okay, I'm not really getting this, like, you know, my left eye is perfectly fine. I'm happy with how my left eye works, but my right eye is not working very well. I need to study up how to kind of do a better job on it or something. And it's, I mean, if you look at how some artists do, like, don't get me wrong, some people that have been doing art for years, okay, they make like intricate lines and stuff like that, and they're very smooth, and once you start seeing their lines being made, you start noticing the shape that they're trying to go for, right? But here's the thing, it took them a long time to get to that point. Okay.
No, I know.
um no artist is gonna come to your stream and kind of criticize you on what you're doing on your art, or at least I hope not, because
I
they're
don't
being
expect
stupid.
that from B stream. I don't know YouTube.
I mean, I would figure that anybody, as long as you basically say, hey, noob artist trying to draw a new avatar, you know you basically say that, or uh, non-artist drawing new avatar. Okay, that might pique some artists' attention. I'm like going, why is he doing that? Okay, they might come in and ask you questions like, what, why not pay for it or something like that, and that involves engagement. That enhances the engagement. They might be interested in seeing, you know, what you do to try to make your avatar. Okay, maybe they might think, maybe they look at it and go, "Oh, wait, I haven't actually thought of that before." Because, you might be like looking at other people's tutorials on how to draw something, and that might be helpful for other artists, right? They might not have seen that before, right?
Yeah.
So it can be a learning experience. It might be something that everybody might like appreciate, might find, useful. Um, and some people might come on in and maybe, try to help you out as well. It's like, hey, black card, what you're gonna need to do instead of making the car, if you're trying to go for this kind of shape, if you're trying to go for this, instead of using um, like a oval shape, maybe try to use a diamond or something, whatever, right? Um, and they might provide, um, some insight that might help you out on how to design a face, design eyes, design the nose, and so on and so forth to build, obviously a scuffed avatar, but it will, you're gonna take the process. It's gonna be a long process, obviously.
Yeah.
Um, but like I said before, you're not like you know, um, you're not a professional artist, so you're not going to be able to draw like a anime figure in 4 hours like others can do. Okay, obviously some people can draw something like super fast, because they have the practice for it. They have the tools for it. Some people have their own like tablets with pens that they use to kind of draw everything out. Obviously, you're not going to have that. You're going to
I know.
have, the mouse, to,
Mouse and keyboard's
you
all
know,
I got. Until I can
yeah,
get some form of income, yeah.
yeah. But I mean,
And I know my brother's not gonna let me borrow his.
wait, your brother has a tablet and pen
Yeah,
to
he has
that
one.
you could.
He won't let
Oh,
me. I know he won't let me use it because he treasures that thing.
oh, okay. But I mean, but here's the thing. Um, no one should really expect you to have those tools to start off with anyway. Okay, everybody starts with bare bones, for the most part, right? When I started, I mean, I still have the same webcam that I had, when I first started out. I haven't purchased a new webcam, so the fact that this is still going strong, it's like, thank you, webcam.
Yeah, there are some that are
um,
made really well. I mean, I do have a webcam that it's old. I got it used, and it works perfectly fine. I
mhm,
mean, I started with that.
right. But some people don't necessarily have that to start off with. You know, some people don't even have a mic to start off with. They just kind of record their gameplay and stream their gameplay, and that's
Yeah.
it.
I've seen
Okay.
some VTubers get creative with that. I know a VTuber that doesn't have a mic. Shout out to Platformer Princess, who instead of using a mic, uses a little drawing pad down below her avatar and writes there.
Mm. Or you could use like TTS. Use a keyboard to
Text to
type in a
speech.
sentence, and yep, exactly. And like Zentrea from um,
Yeah, I think Zen does do
what?
something like that.
Yeah, Zen. That's all she does is uses text to speech.
Yeah.
For for you know for that. So, but I mean, everybody starts off, with whatever they have, and you can be very creative with it. So same when it comes to art. Um, no one's gonna, you know. the people that have like the best setups and stuff like that, they've been in the business for years. You know, um, they've even done like odd jobs themselves just to try to get the money to purchase said equipment. So um, so no artist is going to be coming at after you and saying, oh my God, why are you using a mouse and keyboard if they know that you're like, if you're if you're not even, let's face it, all you have to do is just basically say, programmer tries art for new avatar. All you have to do is just put that in your title, and the artists are going to be like, "On, okay, yep." um, but hey, you know, um, the thing is that um, everybody has to start off somewhere. Okay.
I know, I know.
So if you do it on a Tuesday stream, then great. If you want, I'd almost say, because I don't know how long you'd want to be streaming for on a Tuesday, especially if
I
you
was
want to try
leaning
to,
towards a 2 hour stream, and
yeah.
no more than that.
But I'd say, just try to do, something kind of. Obviously, you can't really play any music, but I mean, you can always like turn off the audio for you know uh, for your computer kind of thing, and you
My
can just
desktop
have
audio, I
like
know.
have some music playing in the background for yourself. Now you could maybe put up at the very top like, hey, I'm listening to this song or something like that, right? You can basically put like a little browser window that's like kind of cut down to what you're kind of currently listening to. So others might be like, oh, okay, what's it he's listening to right now? That might do some kind of engagement or something like that, maybe. That's an option.
Yeah.
Um,
If I were to put music to run through the desktop audio, they would have to be from the YouTube playlist that's available.
I mean, that's an option, you know. Actually, I think you can, if I'm not mistaken, you should be able to, um,
Yeah, YouTube has a playlist you can use for content.
oh yeah,
So that's
yeah, yeah.
that would be the only thing I would use.
But let's see here. Like editor,
I'll probably look at it. I'll
audio.
look into that throughout the week, anyways. I still need to decide. But right now, I actually gotta get something to eat there, Jim. Before I
Oh
start
yeah, I know.
Genshin.
Yeah, I know. But if I'm not mistaken, um, you might be able to try to play it like have um like there's a way for you to kind of look at the audio library and when you play it, have it could kind of cascade through all of the audio sounds. So I mean,
Yeah, I need
that's
to look
something.
how that works.
Yeah. And obviously if you're playing it through YouTube, then there's
YouTube cannot
nothing.
complain because they're the ones providing it.
Exactly. So um although obviously, it's going to be, it's not going to be like today's greatest hits or anything along those lines. But here's the thing. If you're working on art and stuff like that, obviously, just um, you know, trying to do any kind of engagement might be difficult. Obviously, especially if you're trying to like work on something, right?
hmm
Um, but you can with slight background noise, it might make things kind of a relaxed atmosphere. You might have some uh people that might say, hey, this is kind of a cool song, or or it it helps with engagement, obviously, right? So, but I mean, yeah. As for the different streaming platforms, um, I know that Twitch is Twitch.
Yeah, I still don't have
Um,
much trust on Twitch, but right now I'm gonna have to put aside what my thoughts about it and
yeah.
look for a
Um,
solution. Actually,
uh, I mean, Kick, not exactly the greatest site in my particular opinion. Obviously, we've kind of discussed this before
you
about
know,
it. But with their 95.5, uh, if you are able to make some money off of it, then
yeah,
it's
which right now
it's
is what I
great.
need to do.
It it's great for the streamer. Okay.
hmm
Not so great for the audience. Great for the streamer. So I mean, if it's something that you know, uh, you can always say that it's going to be like for a temporary basis. You go to Kick, you try to build an audience there. You don't necessarily say, "Hey, this is going to be temporary" or something like that. But
I know.
um, if you build up a big enough audience there, then maybe you can get some uh, a little bit of income at least. But
Yeah, which is what I need to solve right now.
yeah, but at the same time, I don't know, man.
I don't know. Like right
Seeing
now,
that it's
I don't have many options right now.
I know, I know. Uh, I wish I could help you out.
I know,
So
it's okay.
yeah.
Uh,
All right.
yeah,
Well, let's get out of here so you can get something to eat.
yeah.
And
I'm trying to get
what are
hungry.
you
And, hmm?
what are you doing tonight?
I'm gonna play some Genshin, try and get a few more world quests out of the way, and try and progress the story a little bit more. Hopefully,
Okay.
get access to the other islands of Inazuma.
Okay. You're gonna be so far ahead of me.
Well, you have a lot more world quests cleared compared to me. Like you've been doing a lot of world quests. Unlike me, I have a big list of world quests to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna
understand.
try
I
with the
understand.
characters I already have level 70 and see how well I perform.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with the level 70, you should be able to handle those world quests a little bit more.
Yeah.
So, I may step on later on tonight for some commissions. So if you want some company on commissions tonight, then
Yeah, I'll probably leave commissions for last. For when
okay.
I'm like about to close down or something.
Yeah. I got Goat Simulator, so that'll be probably for like an hour or two before if maybe I get tired and I'll shut down that a little bit early. But I mean, I think today's like the last day for that photograph event or something like that. I
Yeah,
think.
I'm gonna start off with
So
that. I have been doing it off stream a little bit. I don't know
yeah,
if I'll be able to get all of it.
I hope there's a better event that they come out like immediately afterwards
I
for
hope
some
so,
more
yeah.
premium
I
gems.
do not like how they managed it with that
Yeah,
whole. You get a random sample. I get so much brown sample and not enough of the others. Like, what's the point if I cannot get it like a balanced amount?
yeah. Um, if you want to check out what I've gotten and see if there's something like that, you know, like I think I have like maybe four of I think like the purple. I think at this point.
Well, with what I have
Um,
right now, I only need like 4 of each right now.
yeah,
That's to get all the rewards.
right.
I'm gonna keep on doing it today. Whatever spares I have, I'll probably pass them over to you just in case.
Or if there's something that I have that you like you're like missing like one more to finish off like all 7 or something like that, then let me know.
Yeah, because right now I got
Um,
like 5 browns, 4 of the orange, 2 of the purple ones, no blues. I think there was yellow as well, of which I think I have 2.
yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, check. You can check other people's, other friends, what they have,
I know.
you know. So check to see if there's something that that I have that might help you out, if I can, you know.
And don't worry
Uh,
about it. If I don't get all the rewards, I don't get all the rewards. Like I say, I don't like how they made this event at all.
yeah, neither do I. But I mean, hey, if the event itself is fairly simple,
Yeah,
and for 60 primos, it's not bad.
yeah,
I mean, it's basically like an equivalent of doing, all the commissions for the day. And it's like, okay, going around taking photographs, that's easy when compared to like fighting all the commissions.
yeah,
So it's like, okay, like you said, it would be nice if it was easier, but for what it is, it's okay.
yeah,
It's not terrible. Just could be it would be nice for like more photographs, or being able to go back through past days or whatnot, but
yeah,
it is what it is. So all right, you get going, you get some food,
yeah. Okay.
and I'll probably see you later on for some Genshin
All
Impact.
right.
Okay.
Tomorrow you have Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah, so I will not be streaming, so
Okay.
no
Just
Unreal.
to confirm. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so okay. Maybe I'll show up like later on in the evening, maybe, but I doubt it.
Mm. Yeah.
I'm probably gonna be stuffed. Stuffed like the turkey, not the turkey itself. But um, we'll see. We'll
We'll
see.
see.
Um, but I kind of doubt it. So most
Yeah.
likely I'll be back on Friday. Okay.
Yeah, no problem. I'll be seeing you on Friday then.
All right then.
Right. Take
Uh,
care.
or later tonight.
Or later tonight.
I
Yeah.
mean, if you do a stage, I'll probably invade that. Okay.
I'll have a stage open just in case.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
All
Take
right,
care,
then.
Jim.
Uh, See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. There we go. That's it for the stage. Now I'm gonna open VStream real quick to send everyone over to watch, to mirror shower someone, because I'm gonna close down this stream for now so I can go and get something to eat. I do not like eating on stream, and in roughly 40 minutes to an hour, I'll be back for some Genshin. Let's see who is on right now over on the VStream side. I will be looking into the whole doing maybe an art stream for my Tuesdays. Finding a proper tutorial to learn how to use whatever software I choose to use, whether it be the Photoshop like one or Blender. We'll see. In my point of view, I might need to learn both, but let's start with 2D since that might help a bit more. Especially since Jim wants to make a 2D game, that might even help even more so. Let's see, who is on? We got Tank Blade. Okay, VT. Let's see. Is there someone I haven't rated in a while? Let's see a few unfamiliar faces. Oh, I see Hershey. Hershey has lurked on my stream a few times. Raven Fox. With Hershey. Right, mute the desktop, just in case. Okay, there we go. There's isn't a Borderlands call-out. I still need to play the pre-sequel for Borderlands. Let's see. Slash meteor shower. Try. Okay, I'm gonna leave this part for today. I know I ended up not looking into the whole Unreal audio stuff, but well, that kind of helped me like get my brain going a little bit on what I'm gonna do. We're gonna like art stream or Blender. We'll see. And I am considering doing that on Thursdays mainly for roughly 2 hours or so. We'll see. I am no artist. I know I'm gonna struggle with that. I don't a lot. But anyways, so thank you all for watching, and hope you'll at least enjoy today's stream. And I hope to see you guys in a little bit for some Genshin. Bye bye.